What's up? What's up, everybody? Got Tim
Up.
up in the lobby.
Tim's
We got
always early.
Lehan Vander up in here with us this week. It's been a while. We'll catch
It
up, see
has
what
been a
Lehan's
while.
been up to. It's been what? It's been over a year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite some time. That was awesome. I looked on my phone. You're like, "What? You still doing that live?" I'm like, "Yeah." That's cool, man. I'm glad you reached out.
Oh,
Yeah, my
there we
my
go.
grandpa was talking about it with me, talking about the last live stream that he apparently had watched like a couple days ago. And I said, "Ooh, I wonder if Crystal does that. Would be fun to get in on it."
For sure, yeah, we do it, hit and miss with it here anymore. Trying to get back at it every weekend or
Mm-hmm.
every Friday at least. Staying at it. I'm still flying. I fly all the time. Still helping people, bringing people into the hobby more now. Got with everybody now. Just about 8 local people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and you remember before I could find no one.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember.
yeah, and everyone I meet, they're kind of like the same story. They're like, man, I didn't know anyone flew drones in the area. I'm like, yeah, they're few far in between. I said, but I knew there were people out there. It's just a matter of finding them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get situated. I wasn't really ready. Got distracted by calling around.
You're good.
Oh God, I hope you guys don't hear that squeaking. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, you need a rope to pull you back into the
Oh
tent.
yeah,
Happy
you're being lazy.
birthday, PV.
PV.
What?
I haven't saw him
PV?
forever. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Happy birthday, early birthday. But 19th birthday. Man,
Wow. Happy
Whoa.
birthday.
years ago. I fix sheet. What's up? Tablet face.
19th, I remember that.
What's up, Dan? How you been, brother? I got StreamYard check.
Shit, I like that name.
Lower.
To be 19 again.
I know, right? To be 19. Wow. I don't
I
know.
don't know. If I was 19, I think I'd still be doing the same crap.
But if you think about it, we've
I wasn't
celebrated
even-
a couple of PV's birthdays within that.
Yeah, we actually did. I wasn't even thinking of drones when I was 19, but I'm trying to think like
Were drones even existing when you were 19? Oh, I said that.
I'm thinking like if they were, would I even be into them? Like I want to think I would. I'd like to find the guy that when I first got interested in drones, we all know that guy, right? We all were there. You just that drive, right? I would love to find that drive before I literally exit FPV because I think that would be a really good run. Find that person that when we first started, remember that ambitious person, like there wasn't nothing to keep you from not flying a pack. I mean, you got a motor hanging off, prop bent, frame broke, and you're still out there trying to get it in. Find that person, and I think that's awesome. And some do find that in themselves, you know. I still have fun with it, but to be like that, the drive, the cold's driven me back a lot.
Oh, the cold sucks.
Yeah.
Cold's definitely just a.
Lean's
Not
down there in Alabama, probably never
Yeah.
gets cold.
Well, yeah, I basically fly until dark now, until it gets too cold, because I still got 60, 50-degree weather flying.
Michael McReynolds, welcome, welcome.
Mm.
It's been bitter here. We've had. Did you get any of that? Yeah, you probably got hit with that snowstorms then, right? Or no, too far over for you? Yeah.
Mm.
We've gotten hit with snow that we normally don't get. Like if you were in well, actually, I don't know where you used to live. It didn't get hit really bad, because you know how you would get snow a lot up there.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of missed y'all and jumped over and come. Well, we know where you used to live and come all in our area. Oh, it's been terrible. Like we don't get this stuff. We get a couple inches. It's feet to us.
Yeah, down here I don't get really anything.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
man.
wondering. I didn't know. I was like, I was saying Georgia, Crystal was saying
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I was closer.
Russell was like, no, maybe Florida. I was like, no, I know his granddad's in Florida. We know where you're at now.
Alabama.
We're still hours, I think, away from you. Probably what, 18 at least.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, way down.
That's all right. It's see when we used to go out when I used to go out with Leon, it was a lesson anyway. So freaking fast, dude. Like when you get up, when you just get your quad, you're just raising off the ground. You got this zero zero zero. It's like what was that? I remember I had to take my quad and just go for you. Your granddad's like, I think he's aiming for you. I'm like, oh, I am.
That's funny.
I still have all the gates out in the shed and everything.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
should fly them.
I know. I was thinking one day I should get where when we do a meetup, I should just like set them up and
Hmm.
I could probably beat up on these guys pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll be droned in the house. What? Danger Stallion. How you guys doing? Hopefully flying. So we'll let Leon have the floor and let him tell us what he has been into. Because it's been, like I said, over a year, probably over 2 years, close to 2 years maybe, since I last talked with you and figured out what you were into and what you were doing. Sounds like you're still at the same road.
Yeah, still down the same road.
Cool.
I had taken a break for a while, and I basically just started getting back into racing in the middle of last year. I went to a couple events, went to MultiGP Champs last year, and this year is really where I'm trying to get back into flying a lot. I'm trying to fly once, twice every week, and I've got some big goals for the end of the year this year. So
Awesome.
yeah, I've been picking up a few sponsors, which has been amazing because now I can actually have the gear to fly, and now I've got a friend who lives within a few minutes of me. Like we go out and fly all the time, and help each other. It's really fun.
He give you good competition? Someone good to practice with and stuff?
He's just getting into it, but
Gotcha.
he's learning really fast. So I think he'll be racing probably by the end of the year.
Is your brother still at it, still into it, or a little bit?
Oh no,
No?
he's into Valorant now.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much all he
Valorant.
does.
He was getting pretty good at it.
Get better.
Double A in the house, Mr. Crowley. Welcome.
The crowd.
Well, that's cool that you're still into it. You're still heading in the racing world. I heard. Well, you said before we come live, you scrapped your freestyle rigs for his racing rig.
Yeah.
Now, why'd you scrap them? Just to build the racers up?
Yeah, well, usually when I want a freestyle, I just take apart one of my racers and build it on a freestyle frame, and fly that. And when I get tired of it, I want to go back to racing. I just put it back on a racing frame and fly
That
it.
is way too much work. Screw that. I am not soldering a quad just to desolder it again.
I've got too much time on my hands, I guess.
Oh, Lord.
It only
Wish I
takes
had that
it only takes an hour maybe. It's not that bad.
That's an hour lost.
And then tune it. I'm sure you got that tuning pretty much down. Now you just switch rates or whatever back over.
Yep.
Good to go. That's cool. I've had I think I got the racing frame I've had since we've talked. I got that Yamaha frame. I was out there one day. Was it the T-Motor Yamaha? I think it is.
Mhm.
I got that. I was out there one day, kind of reminiscing when we got in the field. Crystal's over here on the deck. It was a summer day. I went out there, had some 4S packs. I tilted the camera up as far as it would tilt so before we hit that orange hood. And I'm out there just screaming it up and down the field.
Yep. That's fun.
She come out and she said, "What in the world are you over there doing to that thing?" I said, "I'm picturing the gates out here." Even though it wasn't, it was just a straight line. Because I guarantee I probably couldn't even hit a gate.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm not flying a track is just take a racer, take a overcharged 6S, and just full throttle it until it dies.
Nice.
Up and down the field. Just why not? Because it's fast.
Poor battery.
It is fun.
Oh yeah,
The battery's
I have a box. I have a box this big of dead 6S batteries.
I don't doubt that, considering how many you all would go through in the field. Oh, that battery's dead. Oh,
Yep.
that battery's dead. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, when you literally, when he puts a battery down, it puts it like as slow as I fly, mine starts to come back up when things happen that way. Man, when his quad's out there, dude, to watch him line of sight just insane, and his battery's just like, no.
And literally
Batteries do
all of
not
my
make-
batteries are like bruised and taped up and like crazy, just like
You need to
horrible
do the heat shrink
condition.
trick, man.
I have not. I've wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
You definitely
Yeah, man.
need to do that.
Yeah.
You of all people need to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does add a few grams, which when you're down in the really light areas, you don't really want to be adding that weight. But I mean, I guess in some cases it would be worth
I
it.
should bring it.
I'm weight funny. I'm like super weight funny. The heat shrink, I promise you, is not adding much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on my setup it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But I mean, this quad, as it is 200 and less than 250 grams.
Now, what are those motors on it?
So these are the T-Motor BMS Raptor V2s.
I can pop you up a bit bigger. Let's see. There you go.
Okay.
And then that stack is also a T-Motor stack on the 533 frame, Foxeer camera, Lumineer antenna, and
Look at that camera angle. Jeez.
that's about 50 degrees.
About.
Wow. I would
Yep.
just send great quads at that right there. Unless I'm in an open field. You put me around something? No.
Yep, pretty much all my quads. This is 50 plus degrees.
Insane.
Just send it.
That's
Right? Yeah.
ridiculous. Just make it into a missile while you're at it.
Yeah, I mean, I've finally gotten to the point where I am not afraid to go full throttle, or go all out. Like,
Nice.
I think full sending is fun. Like this quad, this has been through a lot, and it's still with me, even though I've pretty much crashed it into everything possible.
I've
Full
seen you
sent it
fly
into
fast.
trees.
I've
It's,
seen you fly fast, so with you saying now, I'm not worried about going full throttle out. That's crazy. I can imagine now. It's like,
it's total chaos.
yeah, I bet.
Ah, Double A said, don't listen to them fools. Lehan can keep up with the big dogs. He's seen it.
Oh, I know he can.
So how is HD moving into the racing scene since you're active in it?
So the RunCam HD0 has been taking a decent leap in the drone racing area, but
That's
I feel like most of the top racers aren't switching to it just because it adds quite a bit of latency, and it does add a lot of weight, and you have to get specific frames for it and specific TPU prints for it, and it's just kind of more of a hassle, and it's like twice the price. And right now with analog, the analog cameras we have for racing right now, like my analog camera has 1.7 milliseconds of latency. And I still have a phenomenal image, so I feel like most people have just kept it analog so far. Although Evan Turner, who won the last champs, was running HD0.
Dang. But
Because,
DJI,
like,
is DJI like way too slow?
DJI, I don't think we have the technology to be able to stream. That would just like be a whole like setup
Okay, I got
thing.
you,
It just wouldn't. It doesn't really work with racing well.
I got you. That makes sense.
So you have to stream your video?
So we have to stream our video to judges. So we have judges watching our laps to make sure we don't skip gates or take cheat lines or something. And then we also have to stream that feed to the YouTube
forgot
live
about-
stream, Facebook live stream, all of that.
And how do you do that streaming?
So we have a ground station set up with all 8 channels that are feeded directly into a computer that that runs them all through OBS and just into a stream, or to the TVs in the different rooms that they have people judging.
I was flying this was it 2 days ago? Met a new guy met up, and he's like, man, I wish I could be like in your goggles with you and seeing what you see. I said, I said, you say that. I said, and I do have a monitor right here. I said, I have a monitor. I said, normally on analog, I said, I literally would have that set up to where you could see that, or another pair of goggles. I said, but where we're just going to this HD stuff, I was like, you can plug your phone in and have a cord and watch it, but I can't wait till they get like something out, a monitor for that. Like they gotta have something coming, I would imagine.
I believe they do have something for DJI because Vanover, he's been doing using DJI in the film industry, and they always have a director or someone monitoring the shot from a monitor. I don't know how they have that set up, but they do use that.
Maybe that's just in the commercial world still, and it hasn't moved to the hobby level.
Yeah, I think it might be out there. It's just more expensive and kind of a hassle that most people don't really worry about.
Because like I'm the last guy kind of in the group running analog still, full like 100%.
I love analog. I
And
am.
everybody's digi
Thrown
now.
in the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the DVR. Yeah, he said to the DVR, Lean, you know we need to keep our eye on you fast ones. I bet that is a job too. Seeing if they like you guys so quick to see if you got that gate.
Oh yeah, and
Cheat lines. What do they consider a cheat line?
so they have a like a set way to take everything on the track, and basically just like going around a flag the wrong way, which would be like cutting time that's not allowed, or going like over the top of a flag instead of around it, or just like certain little sneaky things that some people might be doing, which most people don't. Most people in the drone racing world are like very particular about their flying, because the event is DVRing every flight. So if someone says that you might have missed a flag or skipped a gate or hit something and maybe didn't go through it, they will run back the DVR after the race, and if you did, either disqualify you or they will rerun the race.
Awesome. Keeping
Now
it
they'll restart the race like with
Yeah.
everybody on it.
They'll rerun races
double A.
because
That sounds annoying.
it can be, but at the same time, like
True double A.
sometimes it gives people a second chance, because if you crash and you're out and another person like forces a rerun, then maybe you have a second chance at doing better. I don't know.
True.
I've never really had an issue with it. It's just trying to accomplish the same thing again. That's really where consistency as a pilot comes into play. If you can get the same standings twice, then you know you're a good pilot.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, like you said, you get a second chance and maybe you can do better or something like that happens. That's cool though that they watch it and they're like, nope, run it back, because I guess there's no way of or just disqualifying that player. That's good that they don't do that and they do run it back, I guess.
Yeah, they try to be very generous, because I mean, people are spending a bunch of their money to get there, working really hard all year to get to that big event, and they want to be as gracious as possible, but there are times when they have had to disqualify people for certain things.
Demons FPV, welcome.
Well, double A said I sat as a judge during a team race. Hours, I do believe. And you mentioned before we came live that you actually have a team race coming up.
Yes, I do. It's called Mayhem. It is in April in Texas. It's called Mayhem from dawn till dusk, so it's basically 12 hours of racing. The only time that you're stopping is to run, go get out quads, bring them back, and keep going. You have 8 pilots on each team and pit crew, so you always have someone working on quads, charging batteries, making sure everybody has stuff in the air. And it's a crazy event. I know, like people will like take shifts and sleep for an hour and then fly for an hour, and it gets chaotic. But I'm actually really excited to participate this year, because I've never really been in a team race before.
So
And how many teams will be there?
I believe there are 6 to 8 teams. I'd have to double check on that one.
Now, do they fly all 8 at the same time?
So they have all 8. So here's how team racing works: is they have 8 channels, and each team has their own channel, and each pilot on the team sets up their quad but turns their VTX off. So one person will fly, land the quad, turn their VTX on. The next person will turn their VTX off. The next person turns their VTX on and flies. So it's how many laps each team can get in a certain amount of time, and that's where you pull ahead. And so it's not really based on time necessarily. A big thing is trying not to crash, because if you crash halfway through a lap, and you're down and your teammate has to go, then they have to start like a fresh lap. So you just lost half a lap, as well as the time that it takes to pit.
Like a relay race, Demon
Mm-hmm.
he says. That's pretty cool though.
So it's all about is getting many laps as you can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As many laps as you can in a certain time frame.
I saw that before where they could turn the VTX off and then that way they can power up another drone and send it out. Like I've seen that
Mm-hmm.
before. I thought that was pretty cool because one time I had I got a quad stuck in the tree and then I could power up a quad and send after it, but that's exactly what I said because I don't do different channels and then where I do crossfire it'll arm anyway. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna arm that one, so that would be cool to be able to shut that off and then they go after it, like something like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Crossfire sucks like that.
I have 3 of my quads set up to where I can plug them all in and use a switch. I run Ghost, so this is like super easy for me because I can control my VTX from my radio, from my like Ghost module. So
Okay.
I can literally use a switch, select which quad I want to fly, and it'll fail safe the other 2, and turn the VTX on that one on and fly, land, turn the other one on, switch to it, turn the other one on and fly. And I can fly 3 quads in a row without ever having to touch batteries or anything. Or yeah, so it's a lot of fun for practice. It can be beneficial, but it's mostly used in the team racing aspect.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool though. Think about the way it works.
Now, what type of VTXs are you using where you can just turn them off like so?
So most of my quads right now are using a hybrid board, which is a receiver and VTX in one. So it has
and that's the whole Ghost thing.
Yep, that's the whole
Okay,
Ghost.
because I was wondering what VTX you're using where you can just manually turn it off.
But this quad does have a Ghost receiver, and it also has a Tramp Nano, I think, which is also from Immersion RC, and you just put a wire, solder a wire up from the Ghost receiver to the VTX, and it works the same way as the hybrid board.
Pretty cool. A pit switch, he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it. Like I saw people do it, but I just thought it was really cool. I forget what who I saw do it. They were demonstrating how it worked, and it was like if you're at a race and then so you don't have time to run out on the field and grab it, you just throw the other quad out, just go back at it. And I thought, wow, that's pretty dope. And then you go out after the race and pick up your quads. Like, so does it? The quad just sit there? It still doesn't shut the whole quad off though.
No, it's the quad's on and everything. It's just it's not like
It's not transmitting.
it's not receiving from the transmitter, and the video's not on.
Okay.
So you're maybe losing 0.1, 0.2 volts over the minute or two, but then you turn it on and go, which is why sometimes we overcharge those batteries specifically so that by the time we turn them on, they are at the voltage that we want when we take off.
Makes sense. Mr. JRCs, welcome. That's pretty cool, like the setup. I liked how when we hang out together, you showed me how you guys do in your transmitter, that throttle, 70, 80, 90, and then 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That made things a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
You're in 100% running. I think at the time on that Friday frame, I was trying to do like 40, 45-ish on the camera angle.
Mm-hmm.
That made a world of difference when you showed me that.
Yeah, throttle caps are still used a lot. Have you heard of Freedom Spec Racing?
Nah.
So Evan Turner, who's the owner of 533, they have a race where you have to use you can use any frame, but you have to use the heads-up motors and the heads-up props and a 3S battery. So everybody's using the same basically powered quad. And they're spec racing using that, and I know a lot of people, instead of practicing with 3S batteries, they'll just practice with a 6S or a 4S and a throttle cap.
Wow, that's crazy. And then go to 3S when they...
Mm-hmm. Although I would probably prefer to practice with 3S because they're like $10 anyways.
Well, then wouldn't you feel like so much different on the 6S to the 3S though? Like once you got there, I guess it's just.
I think you would just have longer flights on the 6S, so it's just better practice.
Well, for 3S we have I think 2200 milliamp hour because our there is a weight you have to have a minimum weight for your quad. I think it has to be like 460 grams, which is pretty close to what it weighs with a 6S anyways. So I mean, it comes out to around the same runtime.
That would be fun. Put 3S on it and just drive
Yeah,
all it. Yeah.
they had a race in Costa Rica last weekend. They had I think like a good 60, 70 pilots show up, and it was a pretty big event. It was awesome. They had a big track out literally like right next to the beach in a park, and they ran it for I think 3 days, and they had like Minchan there. All of the fast pilots were there. It was it looked like a lot of fun. I was actually really jealous that I couldn't go.
I bet.
Lehan said, I'm building a 3S race and I will be there very soon.
When I started on the FPV, I started out on 3S just because I thought get on 3S, learn everything, and then bump my way up so I don't got there and destroy the quad on 4S. Even though I destroyed it plenty of times on 3S, but Birdman, welcome, welcome.
I kind of like that.
I know, I was like, that's got me like wanting to go, okay, I got a 3S pack.
Yeah, throw it on a 6S and send it. Because, I mean,
What?
everybody's basically using
Why did that
100%
noise
throttle.
just happen?
Oh, sorry, I'd plugged the quad in.
Oh.
Me.
Wait a minute.
If my quads did that,
As
I'd be
many
like,
years as you've been flying and you don't know why that noise just happened?
I have KISS.
I
It
say
tells
I'm-
me what's happening. It's like ESC's on, FC on, get your shit together on. Like,
right? 3S on the X class, Tim. I only think she'll lift. We have to go all the way up on the throttle.
we'd have to like let the 3S dangle on the ground and just really long extension cords up to the quad.
Okay,
There
so
you go.
Demons FPV says 7-inch frame, 6S motors, 5-inch props, 4S pack.
Oh my. So here was just an example of how I have it working. So I have this quad selected. I can arm it, turn the video on and off, select my other quad, give it a second, and arm it.
Okay, check it out. It's cool. That is pretty cool. You can do that.
It's a lot of fun to mess with. And it's really simple with the Ghost. It only took maybe 5 minutes to set up. And they're usually when you use a pit switch, you have to go and set up and beta fly it and set up all the fail-safe stuff. It just kind of gets really complicated. But with Ghost, it's just a few buttons and you're good to go.
So is that why you switched to Ghost?
That is a reason I switched to Ghost. Like it's really easy to use. But I think the main reason that I wanted it was because it has 500 hertz refresh rate, which is I think 2.5 milliseconds of latency, and you can still get like very reliable range at that low latency. Whereas I know ERLS, I don't know how ERLS, the new little cheap receivers and stuff, they do the same thing, but I think they're a lot less reliable and harder to use, and you have to use this kind of sketchy software, and Ghost just made it super easy, and it's still really affordable.
So what about TBS Tracer?
So Tracer is also great for racing, but it's like a locked output, so you can't really go as far as Ghost can, because with Ghost you can use a long range mode and go out 60 kilometers if you wanted to. The same with Crossfire, but you can also go down to those racing latencies. But with Tracer, you're kind of stuck at 250 hertz, which is I think about 3.5 milliseconds of latency. So you have a little bit of added latency, but you don't have as much. You don't have like as wide of usage as Ghost. So I think like the main place where Tracer is being used is with people that use Crossfire for freestyle or long range, and they just wanted something also TBS for racing, so they just switched between Crossfire and Tracer, whereas Ghost is basically all of that in one module.
I got you. Yeah, see, I thought that Tracer was more for the racers.
So
Because
Ghost has 1.3 in it?
Say again?
1.3 gigahertz?
It's I believe 2.4 gigahertz.
Oh, 900. Sorry, is that what
Nine.
Crossfire is? 900 hertz.
I think it's Ghost is just 2.4 gigahertz, but somehow they made it be able to have almost just as much range.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about because when you were talking about those mad ranges, I was like, how? It has to be like 900.
1.3, Doc, we buying it tonight.
I know.
So I picked up a cool frame this couple weeks ago, and I built it today. Thing's pretty cool. The Kin FPV. It is the E115, the 6061 aluminum frame.
That looks crazy.
Don't lie, you spray painted silver on that shit.
Yeah, I took carbon and sprayed it. Yeah, right, dude. It is. So building it remind me of the Apex because that's what I fly. It's my frame I like, and it's very, very, very similar to that. It seems like what they did was they made everything a lot thinner. You know, across the plate here, you can kind of see it's like. I mean, it's pretty.
Oh yeah, it's tiny.
Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they did, I think, is did all that to make them 6mm arms to put the weight out there on the arms. 791 grams, I think it is, all up with the battery and everything.
What size battery?
I run 1,000 milliamp hour 6S pack on it.
Really, only 1,000? That's interesting.
Yeah.
We
So
all
I
run
got-
1,000.
What
I
kind
got
of
a
flight times
1300.
do you get?
I got a 1300 pack, so that would obviously add weight. And where it's HD, I could just take off this to save weight, and then just record with the DVR and the goggles because it's got the pro camera, so it does really good on feedback. You see my angle? That's
Mine's actually probably lower for freestyle.
really.
Yeah, I run about
It's on
10, 15
freestyle.
degrees camera
Thinking
tilt.
I'm thinking on freestyle. You're looking at the ceiling, but I can't wait. I'm gonna maiden it tomorrow, so I'm gonna see how it flies. I think it'd be interesting to see
Yeah,
what's going on with it. Everything's set up on it.
I'm really curious. Like, how stiff is the aluminum?
It's actually really stiff. Like I've tried to bend the arms down and stuff like before I built it and all, and I can't get like nothing to move on the arms.
Wow.
Like I was thinking I'd be able to like bend the arms up and down and around. You can't move
Yeah,
them at all.
my worry was just like that it would be soft, but I guess we'll see how it holds up and crashes.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Like I said, I'm not gonna go out and like kill it and try to cram it in tiny holes, but I'm gonna fly it. Now we all know crashes happen. That's all part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how it happens. I think it's gonna probably bend an arm if it hits the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was telling Chris, I think aluminum in reality is, it's hardness wise it's soft, but just tensile strength and flexibility. It's aluminum's a pretty
Reaper, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
metal. It's just that you could scratch it easily, but you can't manipulate it easily.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's-
I think flexibility wise, if he's gonna snap an arm, it's gonna snap, not bend.
That's kind of where I've been at. Is my carbon, like it flexes a little bit, but it's really strong. It doesn't break like
Right.
easily at
You
all.
wanted to give that little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you real rigid, it'll definitely break.
Man, I want that stuff so flexible my props run into each other.
So yeah, guys, tomorrow, so Demons FPV, they're gonna be over on OD. I see, is it tomorrow?
I
Not
got.
tomorrow.
Is that Sunday, Demons?
Sunday, right? I gotta
Sunday.
That's a stream.
I gotta start participating in that. It's because we're normally cleaning. Last week I stayed long enough to jump into Eric's, and then we had to go get ours done. But we're putting that on the schedule, so I'm gonna start getting more in there. But guys, yeah, they do a stream optimized drone. You guys know I'm part of the team pilot over there. They do a stream every Sunday at 9 o'clock, I believe it is.
Yep. Last week it was 9:30 because of Eric's stream.
Yeah, last week it was 9:30 due to another stream going on, E-Drone stream. So 9 o'clock, check them out. You got E-Drone, check his channel. He's got, I don't think he has like a schedule, but he got pretty good people on all the time having good interviews and all. So
Usually
check it
live
out.
streams twice a month.
Yeah, usually about twice a month. So check out his channel and wait for the live streams. They're fun. I kind of just get caught up in it's hard to sit and watch a live stream anymore. I ain't gonna lie. I more or less sit and don't say nothing a lot of times, and then a lot of times I'll get in there and say something. But
I'll be a lurker. Like I don't like to hop in and talk too much.
We all love our bushwhackers because we do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know what it's like. Sometimes you're not feeling social, so you come in there and you know, because it's like pretty much everybody in the stream. So when you say hi, and nothing against no one, but you have to interact and chat. And you just
Like
kind of want to
Danish
listen.
said, I'm here. Saying
Yeah.
nothing.
Well,
I'm showing my support.
Tim knows because one day he's got that diverticulitis stuff, and I got that stuff too. And it's like, man, when you get those days, you just can't. It's hard to even like message, to get in there and type a message, just a messenger. Your brain's just going like, ooh. So yeah, I'm making excuses. I'll be the first one.
Oh, is that the one where if you eat a seedy food?
Yeah, whatever. I eat something with seeds or something. It
Stay away from the damn strawberries. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, my body like hates me. I got alpha gal from going to abandoned places flying, but I'd do it all again. I love doing it. So yeah.
I'm scared to go out now, but I always usually if I'm out in the woods, I wear long leggings with socks over it. So.
But yeah, I don't know. Doc's now got to the 18th. He's going to be free. He's got an ankle bracelet on for stalking kids.
That's on lockdown.
No.
I'm not on lockdown. I just don't have free time. Like I'm giving you guys a couple hours of my day just of not working. I worked until 1 every day this week and had to get up at 6:30 ish. I've been running on like less than 30 hours of sleep this week. That's terrible.
Yep, and then Crystal's in the middle of inventory right now. So, but we're all looking at that good weather coming and going to try to get back into doing things.
We all can't wait till the end of February.
Yeah,
I can't wait until the end of next week, and then I'll only have 1 job and not 2 jobs.
Are you going to IO, Lehan? Are you going to be there this year?
Hopefully.
I
think I might be skipping Rampage for IO this year.
Nice, dude.
How was Rampage? Like, I heard a lot of shit from it last year.
I really enjoyed Rampage, but I mostly went to film the pilot Bubby FPV. I didn't get much flying in, but I mean, it was a really cool event.
Yeah, I saw you hanging out with Bubby there for a little bit. That had to be awesome, right?
Yeah, Bubby's awesome.
Yeah, he looks really cool. John says Doc wears leggings. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll wear.
No,
it's not leggings. They're like. I wouldn't even call them long johns because long johns are made out of like what, cotton? Mine are definitely spandex.
Y'all see this? Reaper FPV says he is working on his drone / cricket workstation. Nice. Putting pegboard.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have that too. That's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have pegboard on this wall and have the actual quads on that wall so we don't get that ugly tub of quad
Crystal
shit.
stole my pegboard. It
You
looks
better
like
watch it because I'm gonna steal that one over there too if you keep it up.
it looks like a hobby store over here now. She's got one of the cricket machines and she just goes at it.
Look, it's not my fault that I ran out of room and had to organize things. That's Rustin's fault.
I'm surprised you don't make your own pegboard.
Me?
You can buy it.
I can now.
I think, yeah, but like I had a contractor I was talking about getting pegboard because he had some laying around. I was like, can I have it? He was like, no. Go get some plywood and drill holes in it. It's cheaper.
Actually, if you think about it, with the price of wood and things now, it's actually cheaper just to buy the already made pegboard.
I think so.
Back in the day, that would have been cheaper, but not now.
So if you guys get anything from Ken FPV, there's a says use Demons 15, and I think
See,
what was
Reaper
it?
said
Aaron had
pegboard
one.
is $10 a sheet at Lowe's. I can guarantee you, a good sheet of plywood's more than $10.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper just to grab that. That's what I did.
Dude, what we were jumping the max off of was free outside. I stole that out of a dumpster.
Yeah, we had a blast. What was it last weekend?
Yes.
We went to Doc's house and we jumped RCs, Russell shot his 50 cal. I didn't even care to shoot that thing. And I used to be big into guns. That's what's crazy. The drones have my attention now. But we jumped literally. Josh was up there chasing with a. I think he had a 7-inch. I know he had a 7.
Yeah, it was a big quad out there.
But then he had his 5-inch out. I think. I got a video on
Eric had to
TikTok. Literally, the X Max jump and the quad hit the freaking truck. It was crazy. And
you have it on YouTube. I watched. That's what I watched.
Yeah, I got it on YouTube too. I have it all perspectives. Yeah. We have it from I was setting my quad up on the ramp and I was pointing it upward and I told Doc, I said, hey, do a front flip over my quad. I'm gonna get that on footage. I thought that'd be pretty cool. I was gonna slow-mo it, real good and all that, right? So I set the drone down. As soon as I set it down, I hear Josh coming in from behind and you hear Doc just get off the ramp and then wham! I mean, they hit each other. It was not intended. It was totally on accident. So then my camera actually picked it up, and I mean, I picked up like back here, so it's impressed that the camera was like here, and it caught a little bit behind the camera, and still got to see it on that super view. So then we got it from Josh's point of view of his drone, and then Crystal was from the side filming, so we got all three perspectives of it being hit and knocked to the ground. That was pretty damn cool.
And I was surprised, like, it actually pushed the Max a little bit out of the way, but, like, the Max was still...
Frog POV, welcome.
Demons FPV asked how long I've been racing for and how I deal with nerves and pressure. I've been technically racing for 5 years, but I've been doing, like, more professional racing since 2019. And nerves and pressure was definitely like a big issue for me in 2019 and 2020. And what I realized is going into 2021, like, yeah, it is like a big race and it's a big deal. And I put all this money into going and all of the gear and everything. But I had realized that I was there for fun. I was there because I enjoyed the hobby. And I was there because I wanted to enjoy racing other pilots, not because I wanted to be the best. Like, even though I wanted to do well, it wasn't all about doing the best. And that really helped me, like, get in the mindset where I needed to be when racing, to where I could just sit down and be like, okay, I'm here, I'm having fun, I'm just gonna fly, I'm gonna fly my best, what happens happens. And I ended up doing a lot better just being in that stable, good mindset throughout the entire event.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when it was really getting to you before, and you were trying to get your drones together, trying to, like, because you were doing everything on your own at that point, and then you got Friday, FPV came along, like, you got a little bit of help there with the framework, and I remember all that, and it was stressing and all that.
Yeah.
I personally remember first meeting Lehan at a quote unquote semi-race event. And somebody who had never technically raced before had to go head to head against me.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun event and a challenging one. Right. I remember the wins on that day were crazy.
Oh, they were extreme.
Were they, dude? They were like, you got Lee, and I'm like...
That's funny.
Just unplugged my quad. The wins were... I'm wanting to say 40, 42-ish, I think, that day, if I remember correctly. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, there was no way. We were in this little corner lot, and it was like, I was like, no way. Because the course, that's my problem with the course. Like, if I could, like, have, like, a couple hours walking it and going out there. And remember, I got there late, so there was no practice in it. Not that it would have mattered, but... with that wind and all, dude, it was not happening. It was terrible. Yeah. But that was a fun day. It really was fun.
It was, yeah. I know that day prepared me a lot for the 2020 championship. We had, on the race day, we had between 40 and 60 mile per hour wind in Florida. Wow. And everybody was struggling. Nobody was getting the lap times that they were before. And I remember getting knocked out really easy because of it. But I mean, the event or that race overall definitely helped me be able to understand how the wind kind of affected my quad, and I was able to fly around it pretty decent. But the wind is really frustrating in racing.
I thought it would give you like a speed boost where you can like sail the wind and zip through faster. Like,
That's
woo!
sometimes in the straights where you're like going with the wind, it's like pushing you so fast you're just like terrified that you're gonna smash something.
That thing's picking
Because
up speed,
we're
yeah.
already going 120, 30, 40 miles per hour, and then you get that little boost from the wind, and you're like, ah, I'm gonna hit something.
Right. And so then we used to hang out at a multi GP track. Rob's track was pretty cool, a little
Hmm.
nice little setup. And then there was Tito. Tito was like
Yes,
Tito was a pilot. He is a pilot. Not
Tito.
was a pilot.
Tito's awesome.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
is definitely. He's got skills in the freestyle, the race, the wing. And I mean, he was fast. For us guys to be up there messing with Tito, it was like nothing. He was on us. He would just play with us. And then all one day, this kid shows up, and he's just, Tito's doing, his normal thing. He's out there. He's just straight working everybody. And I forget who it was. Somebody's like Leon's transmitter or something. He's like, yo, you can borrow my transmitter. And he just
It
got
was
out
my
there.
goggles, yeah.
The
My
goggles.
goggles were like horrible. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I still have. I
The
was using
boxes,
these
yeah.
little EV100 things,
Oh,
and
yeah, okay.
someone lent me their HDOs,
Yeah, that's what it
and
was.
I got like way faster just from being more confident in that.
And then you got to where you just owned him, like, and I say owned him, but you guys,
No, we were battling it out for
you're
sure.
battling out, but
Leon made Tito technically semi-retired.
but that was cool, to see like just someone in Tito's like, I mean, Christ, I don't his age, I don't know how old Tito really is, but he's a grown man, and then you got Leon
Tito's
coming in
our
here.
age.
Tito's our age, yeah. So then you got Leon coming in, and he's just out there like, man, so fast on the track, and it's like it was amazing to see. It really was to see, like, because like I was kind of like I'm a freestyle pilot, but I kind of was like still learning my way and learning like my quads and everything. And this to see this quad and see him and Tito out there just neck and neck. I mean, just running those things like they got two sport bikes out on the highway, and it was crazy. It really was really cool to watch. Just that's a show in its own in itself. If you don't even, I'm like I don't even have to fly. I'm like I'm just here to watch the show. Come on. That's
That was
really
a
cool.
that was a big race for me. That was actually my first ever win in a race.
You got him for sure.
Well, I think the main reason that I got him in the last one was he had to switch to another quad and his camera angle was like 30 degrees and he was like, I can't see where I'm going. I
Yeah,
just
remember
remember watching the
he,
video, he was screaming, I can't see anything in the background.
yeah, he did because with his one quad he showed us that return to home stuff or whatever it is. I can't think now. Remember he's like it is a switch. When you go out so far and you flip it back, he showed us that. He said he did that for people plugging in on him up right. Just flip the switch and it comes back.
Yeah.
And he flipped that switch. He left that thing above, and he's like, yeah, it'll just stay there until I'm ready. And that thing just looked down, and I mean, it just came to the ground so fast, dude. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that thing. It destroyed that quad. I was just like, whoa. But yeah, there were some good times. I think Rob either sold it or selling that place up there now though.
Wow, really?
still
Rob, no, Rob sold his. Tito sold his place. Tito's moved.
I remember he moved across the
I
bridge.
think Rob has also moved.
Wow, I didn't know that. Demons FPV says there's nothing better than a close race with good friends. When the goggles come off and everybody laughs, love that. And
Yes.
absolutely, like, this is what I love about the drone racing community, especially. Even in like the top 4, top 8 races and like huge events like IO or the MultiGP Championship, the goggles come off and everybody's hugging each other and patting each other on the back and telling each other how amazing they did. Regardless of if you won, lost, did well, did your best, didn't do your best, crashed, it doesn't matter. Everybody's there to have fun and congratulate each other regardless.
That's awesome right there. Instead of just like, oh, I got you, da-da. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's of course there's some friendly competition, but like it never goes past that little bit of friendly competition. Like
That's cool.
everybody congratulates each other, and it's just like it's a really awesome community to be a part of.
Because I've seen freestyle, some people go like nuts in freestyle, like their quad wouldn't work and they freak out and
Mhm.
like their anxiety gets the best of them. And So I was kind of thought racing would be like more intense of that. Like you'd have more of that because you go to like a racetrack where they race cars. There's things not going good down there, so you figure like at a racetrack with drones kind of would be the same way. So that's cool to know that they do that. That everyone
Yeah, I
supports
mean,
everyone.
there's always like pressure of like making sure that your gear works, or if something doesn't work, there's still a lot of pressure that like you're not going to do as well as you would have. But um, I think overall it definitely comes down to the end that everybody has fun at those events, and walks away happy, whether like even if they're not happy with their rank or how they did, they still enjoyed the event, which is like a big thing to say about that high intensity
Oh
racing.
yeah, I can imagine your gear and all. Just you're out there pushing it to
Mm-hmm.
maximum. I mean, you're leaving your transmitter on, probably your goggles burning. You're out there running your quads, like you said, 130, 140 miles per hour. And see, I tell people that, and they don't believe that. I know freestyle, we're probably pushing with 80, 85 if we really wanted to, but I
Mm-hmm.
was telling them, I was like, racers are well over that 100. And some people will say, no, they're like 90 to 100. I'm like, no, they're way over that, dude.
I
That's
mean,
insane speed.
this quad is 250 grams without anything. It's less than 500 grams with a battery and props. We're using fairly high pitched props. These are 2000 kV motors. They're big motors. And then you have a 6S 150C battery that you're pushing full throttle. You're getting a lot of top end out of that.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, you hit the throttle and you're gone.
And what pitch props are you running?
I'm running the Minchan.
All right.
They're labeled 5146.6, but I think they're more like 5138, I believe, or 5140 or something.
I got you. I ran those 51 466s for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are nice.
Yeah, I got a ton of them here because I actually
Now I
got
know where all
sponsored.
those props went.
I got sponsored by GemFan after the championship, and
Awesome.
I love their props. Yeah.
That's what I've been rocking lately is Gem Fan. Chris went over to the dark side of HQ, but I've I've been rocking the Gem Fan 5130s.
I just don't need
Real
that bite.
crazy.
Like to me, I don't need that bite. Like I just, I don't know. I go onto this HT Gucci.
These
What do
are
you mean? You have more bite than I do. I have 3 inch.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm like the old guy. Like I go slow these days.
Yeah, this is slow.
Yeah, I thought I like your prop because when I get in like tight areas, like a tight corner with a park or something,
what prop is that?
that prop does good.
It's the 5130s. With the 1.5 millimeter adapter, if you want to use. It has a little cross holes in it, and you have these little plastic inserts that pop in if you wanted to use the T mounts.
I use the GemFan Freestyle F4s for freestyle, and they're also very
Yeah,
low pitch.
They pop in there like that.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. It is a shear point on them though. That's like my only gripe, but I mean, still they fly probably the best thing I've been flying lately.
Yeah, breaking quads, Demons FPV is definitely a huge issue at races. I know a lot of people bring like a stack of quads and still walk away with nothing. Um, for me, I actually showed up to champs with one working quad. I got another two working quads there, but somehow actually used one quad the entire event and had no issues. I think I broke like three props out of all the batteries that I flew. Um, I think you just like it's a mixture of having reliable gear and just being really lucky.
I wish I could travel. I'd be your mechanic, dude. I'd be right there with you every race. We
Yeah.
we're running.
Yeah, I know. There are definitely some people like once we get to the finals of multi GP, you'll have like Propsicle. He'll have his own little partner who's spotting him. Like Propsicle will basically just be walking around preparing himself mentally while his friend and spotter gets his quad ready, fixes quads, replaces props, gets it on the line, talks him through. Like almost everyone in the top 8 has someone like that. So
That's awesome.
it just releases the pressure a little bit on them.
need get your little dude that's near you, man. Get y'all need to become a team and do that.
Yep, definitely. Mm-hmm.
That would be cool when you get to mentally get yourself right. He's taking care of yourself, getting you do the same thing for him when he gets into racing. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I could see that being definitely a good thing. You ain't got nothing else in your mind, just to clear your mind and know when you go walk up there, pick your transmitter up, it's ready for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's the one good thing about this hobby. Everybody is always continuing to learn.
Oh yeah,
Hobby
definitely,
continues to
absolutely.
grow and evolve.
definitely.
That's the great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, a lot of people that when I would tell them, when we live near, near here, and I was like, man, I'm flying with Lehan Vander, they're like, I wouldn't even want to fly with that kid, man. Are you serious? You want to go out and set gates up with this kid? I'm like, look, it's all in fun.
Oh yeah.
I said,
Mm-hmm.
if we go out there and race and he comes over and wants to race me from my car, then we know that's not happening. I was like, I already know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said, but I was like, we normally set some gates up, get something to eat. I said, we just sat there and have fun, and I learned a
Yeah.
lot doing that. Like, I'm not even a
Regardless,
racer, but I've learned so much from you with doing that.
regardless of skill level, you can always enjoy flying with somebody.
For sure.
Just chatting with someone like while flying just puts you in more of a relaxed state, and you get to enjoy even if you're trying to go fast, you get to enjoy the moment a lot more.
Right? Like you said, like I wasn't there as far as like I couldn't be on you as far as competition, but like you said, just someone being on that, being out there with you, made you kind of like sharpen up more. That's what was
Mm-hmm.
up. Like with me, the hitting the gates is not a problem, especially Rob. Like the 5 by 5, I think the gate size
Mm-hmm.
or something. So that's not a problem to me hitting the gates. It's that because now I know more. Like I do mess around with some things, and I know now. I still remember, like in my head, remember when I go way out on the gate and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, go through the gate and back around. So I
Yep.
kind of remember that, and I do that now.
Mm-hmm.
To remember the course is my problem. Like if I go to
Oh yeah, I hate that. And
I
the
can't.
courses are so like you do this and that. I'm like, come
They're
on,
like
man.
Yeah.
Just like
modulator flags or
let's make it a little simpler here. Let's have like a chicane, 2 turns, straight
Yeah, I
away,
mean,
turn back in.
MultiGP created the sports class, which their tracks are a lot simpler, and it's a lot more of a fun-based racing environment.
Gotcha.
Um, and the sports class is the 150th qualified pilot to the 250th qualified pilot. So most of those pilots aren't the best of the best, but they're still decent. But I know a lot of those guys are the older not all of them, but some of them are the older pilots or the freestyle pilots that just like to go out and race every now and then.
Right.
And they definitely make it more make it easier for those pilots.
That makes that would help with me. Like I said, learn the
Yeah,
course and dude.
I
When
would
we're
do that.
Rob's was just like I don't know what level like you would see that as being a multi GP course, but that's a serious level in my eyes. Like the way they used to set those courses up, they were like
They were
pretty
pretty
tough.
good, yeah.
Yeah, the lines and all they pulled. It's
Well,
just like
I'm cool with the tower dive. That's fine. It's just I don't like diving in the tower and then having to zigzag through the tower 8 different times and then come
yeah,
back through. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm tired of being at the tower. Let me go somewhere else.
yeah. I hear you, Reaper. Reaper says liftoff. Liftoff is definitely good for teaching you to do that, get in there. But I can go on liftoff and just be all over the gates and just being in real life, like it's so different. Like
I played on a liftoff racetrack on the online multiplayer, and this goes back to this gate. They had a track that was solely just, it was a 2 cube tower, and the entire track was just zigging around through it back over again for like, it's terrible.
No,
I'm with you on Velocidrone. I did play liftoff. I see now Tim asked what simulator was or what was the best in Reaper to liftoff. So I Velocidrone I do kind of like that better for some reason. I don't know
um
if it feels more real or it's because like I know you can tune lift off, but I think when you kind of like where I was messing with Beta Flight and Velocidrone, you hit it, it kind of pops up Beta Flight, so it kind of like a
mhm.
something a remembrance, you're
Yeah,
familiar with. So
Velocidrone has better physics, especially for racing and general flying. But for some reason, liftoff does have a little bit of an edge on the freestyle. I can't figure out why, but I think it's more just like the maps feel more to size than the Velocitron maps do. But
Yeah.
Velocitron did come out with a freestyle pack, and they have freestyle quads and freestyle maps now that are actually pretty
Oh,
good and pretty
I
fun.
didn't know that. I'll check
They
it out.
have a drift track with cars that you can literally chase. They're pretty realistic. That
I saw that one. Yeah.
they'll drift and all
Yeah,
of that. And you can
I
chase them.
did
They're a
see a
lot of
video of
fun.
that.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I have to
And I
definitely.
think and I think Liftoff has that too now because they're always competing with each other. And Liftoff did just upgrade their physics where they made the quads heavier because that was my issue with not Velociter, but Liftoff
Mhm.
is the quads always felt excessive, like floaty.
Mhm.
Where Velocitron, I could crank up that gravity a little bit more. And Liftoff didn't have gravity option.
Yeah.
That's what I
I hated.
off. I played it about 2 weeks ago, and I was feeling the difference that they did, and it does feel a world of difference. But the
Oh yeah,
velocity zone is still just like there. And I noticed if you pick a larger map, it's a slower quad, so you got to kind of pick a map that you kind of, I guess, balance it out, makes the drone feel more real. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Maps are definitely a big part of Velocitron, or choosing the right one to simulate the best feeling, I guess.
I like the parking lots because I'm a low and slow flyer. Even though I do have a 25-degree camera angle, I do fly much slower than most people.
Mhm.
So it's just that nice. It's a little bit of speed, but I don't fly high in the air. That's why I have such low pitch props.
Yeah, I've been told that I am a very slow freestyle pilot, which I guess I am. I'm I'm not very fast, which is kind of weird when you think about me being a racer, and then I take a freestyle quad and just like chill on the lines and everything. I think for freestyle, it's more just me relaxing, having fun, and trying to be smooth.
Yeah, instead of you worrying about where's that line at
Hmm.
exactly. I can see that being more relaxing. That's kind of like camera bird for me. Throw the GPS bird up and just cruise around. Don't have to worry about what the quad's doing. If you want to stop and just look around, you can look around. It is. It's cool. It's fun.
Yep.
Become
Ding.
Yeah, it's my phone. So Crystal does have some news tonight.
news.
Lean, you can hang around for that if you want.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you ready? Do.
News.
Huh? News. I'll give you a raise. Here.
Oh, you gonna give me a raise?
Yeah, I'll go grab a bottle of water and put this light bill out
Is
there.
it a fruit basket raise?
No, it's still coming.
My fruit's gonna be rotten by the time it gets here.
News.
What is up, guys? So, brothers, well, we've already got that one government agency sticking their nose in and making rules and laws for us. Unfortunately, now the government is trying to do it from other angles. So, a drone in Jason Chavez's backyard has led to a Utah Senate bill, as if the FAA wasn't enough. In Salt Lake City, Utah, drones hovering near the backyard of a former Utah congressman has led to a bill Thursday being approved by the Utah Senate. Senate Bill 122 is the result of a conversation with Jason Chavez. Senate Mike Kennedy told his colleagues,
There you go. You're good now. I can't remember what switch it is.
as they unanimously approved the bill 23-0 on a second reading. The bill, which sets up a working group to study drone policy and specifies criminal liability for drone operators who commit offenses while operating unmanned aircraft, needs to pass the Senate one more time before it heads to the House of Representatives. Chavez is a of mine who back last summer called me when a drone was flying and hovering for more than 30 minutes in his backyard on a Saturday morning.
Okay.
He was kind of tired of that because it's not the first time that that has happened. In fact, it's happened more than a few times at his Alpine home. Quote, you want to get your shotgun and blast them out of the yard, but there's ramifications for that. Well, at least the politician has a little bit of brains. Who served from as Congress from 2009 to 2017. And he now works as a Fox News contributor. It's a tough issue, but it's an issue that's not going to go away easily. We really have to think about how to deal with this. I mean, essentially, it's a camera that flies over your yard. Guys, haven't we heard this before? Aren't there already rules, laws that we have to abide by due to things like this? Maybe politicians need to familiarize themselves with the laws that are already in place and stop trying to add more laws to a hobby that is already being overgoverned. And like Reaper said, let's not ban drones and give away the crack pipes. You know,
I know where he's going with
everybody knows about that one. You know, that priorities. Get your priorities straight, people.
that.
Okay?
Absolutely.
There's enough crime in the United States that if you want to pass new bills, pass them for the right thing. Okay? We already have enough rules, laws, and everything else trying to beat down a hobby. You don't own that airspace. The FAA has already said that. You own from the ground to the top of your house. A little bit above that. That's about it.
Right.
We get to fly above that.
Yep.
And you know, we're trying to keep the air clean. And that's why we're also trying to get rid of those free crack pipes that are being given out. But time will tell over that. We have to get enough politicians on our side and away from trying to be spied on in their own backyard. But in other news, drones have played a big role in that North Carolina fertilizer plant fire. Was it a bad role? No, it wasn't.
Sidewinder, what's up?
The Durham Fire Department provided their drone to assist Winston-Salem during a massive fertilizer plant fire that required evacuations. The drone team responded to help Winston-Salem's firefighters monitor fire conditions after crews evacuated last week's fertilizer plant due to concerns of an explosion. They started using drones over a year ago, and as the fertilizer plant fire grew, they reached out and offered their services. They assisted incident commanders in monitoring situational awareness concerns, fire conditions, other incident hazards. They were able to keep an eye on the firefighters and keep them safe. Durham currently has a half a dozen drone certified pilots, and it's working towards its goal of having 24.
Nice.
If you're in that area, check them out. Get with them, guys, because like I've told you all before, instead of making it our hobby, it's already our hobby. Make it your job.
Cool.
Wouldn't you like to be watching your drone from a ground station like that,
For sure.
helping out in an emergency situation? And, you know, I say ground station, and we think monitors, right? We think the small things. If you're a racer like Lehan, you're used to a little bit higher tech ground stations. Guys, some of you may not even realize, but when you're working in a situation like that, that's your ground station setup.
Damn.
Okay?
I'll
We're
be your
going to
spy.
take it a little bit higher tech. All right? Can you imagine what they're seeing? It's a lot better than just our normal ground station setup. Guys, get out there. The jobs are there. Yes, they're a little hard to get at times. Because, yes, it is hard to convince somebody that just because you fly one of those, that they should trust you with their high-tech equipment. Because they don't understand what's in one of those. We do. Like I've told you guys for the last numerous years, put your passion into play. Get our drone hobby in the news in the good way. Just once again, bad drone news, good news. I always like to end it off with that good news. Some way, somehow, drones helping out in the good. Because when I first started drone news, it was very hard to find drones in the good. I'm not going to lie. I would spend hours combing. Now, it's easy. Right, Sidewinder? Off-grid FPV. I'm an outlaw. I get that. But
I'm with you, bro.
But hear me out. Wouldn't it be nice to be paid?
But Miss Questel, they won't let me whip balls on a DJI Matrix.
Well, hold on. Now you say that, right? And you're not hearing this technically coming out of my mouth. But when you're out on that job and you have control,
it has sport mode.
How can they stop you?
I'm sorry, sir. I wrapped a $30,000 drone around a tree.
Right. Well, you might have some issues if you do that. But seriously, guys, we can actually use, and we were just discussing this with a couple new guys the other day. FPV drones, they're being used more and more and more and more and more every day. Filming movies, getting the videos.
We're going to do frisbee golf tomorrow. Going to chase some frisbee golf tomorrow in the park. Guy hang out with Moses. He brushes elbows with a lot of people. Him and Ethan that I hang out with. They're 107 pilots. So they do a lot. They get involved with a lot. So we did monster trucks a couple weeks ago. Pretty fun doing stuff like that. So the 107s are fun to have for sure. But you just got to understand, I guess, where you want to be, the 107 or the hobbyist that day.
But seriously, guys, like I said, the opportunities are there. Embrace them.
For sure.
You've got a 5-inch. You've got a 3-inch. You've got a mini. Got a Whoop. Dude, the opportunities are there. All you have to do is reach out and grab them and make them yours. The sky's the limit, guys. And actually, the sky's not the limit. The sky's only the beginning.
You saying we can go to space?
I'm saying you can go anywhere you want to, baby.
We're going to space, Chris.
You can go anywhere you want, okay? I remember when Chris first started out, and he thought, yeah, okay, I've got the field, I can fly there. And he was just ripping balls through our youth and civic center 2 weeks ago. The sky is only the beginning.
And I plan to be ripping a lot more. Hopefully.
So, I mean, Mr. Crowley's already been in space. You're a little late on that one.
He stays in space.
But remember, guys, hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and you guys get to get out and enjoy the weekend and you get to fly. And if not,
Sure.
fly inside. 3 to 5 minutes. Yes, you might hear some shit after the fact. And yes, you might hear some shit during the fact if you mistakenly buzz the wrong person in the
Or you
house.
get your X class stuck in the drywall. God, I hate it when that happens.
Shh. You weren't supposed to mention getting the X class stuck in the drywall. I still have to fix that. Shh. Anyway, guys, get out there, enjoy our hobby. One way or another, if you're not flying it, talk about it. If you're not talking about it,
Fondle it, touch it, rub the drone. It loves it.
build it. Do
Yeah,
something.
right?
Do something with our hobby, okay? That's your challenge for this weekend. One way or another, get out and do something with our hobby.
Yeah.
And like Reaper said, let her rip, Tater Chip. Full send, guys.
Full send.
Leon, we really appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thanks
It's
for
been
having me.
amazing watching your journey and watching you grow through this hobby. We told you guys in the very beginning when we brought Leon on the first couple panels.
Prodigy.
That's our future, guys. And he's holding up to it.
I'm trying my best.
You're doing an amazing job, babe.
You are, for sure.
You are making all of us proud who have watched you grow through this. So that's my favorite thing about this is I get to watch a lot of you progress and learn and grow your skills in multiple different areas, not just in FPV. Leon, your photography skills. I get to watch you guys grow. That's what I love. So keep it coming. And until next time, guys, we appreciate all of you hanging out with us. You are what it's about. You are why we are here. And until next time, guys, we love y'all.